Alright. See, make sure the mic's working. Media's going through. Iron Man. Iron Man mask. Woo. Hey. I think we're good to go now. Gonna turn the preview off. Yeah, we'll leave the preview up. Let's see. So we got a controversial topic that I really have a lot of questions about. Like seriously. Why do people that hate the church so much want to be so a part of it, or at least profess to know anything about it? That's what I want to explore today, hopefully, and hopefully we get some good conversations in chat, and we have, you know, civil conversations about it, but we'll see. I mean, people don't have to click on it if they don't want to, so that's just my whole thing with Twitch. People do not have to click on it, which is great. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. But if you feel like you really need to respond, be civil about it, and we can chit chat. I don't have an issue with it. I have no hate towards the LGBTQ community. I'm just wondering why symbologies from the church are taken, and why there's such a pressure, especially like towards church to be all accepting when we can't be. We can't say something's good and helpful for you when we are told in the Bible it's hurtful for you. So, but anyway, we're gonna start with our prayer again, as always. It's necessary, and then we'll read what I have as my daily Bible verse. I think I had it up yesterday. I just didn't get to read it. I was a little out of it yesterday. A long day, a long Mother's Day. Just wanted to hop on and just say hello yesterday. But anyway, we'll start with a prayer. Lord, just guide us today, give us wise words and peaceful tongue when we talk, and just give us the patience with people, and just know that we're here to try to glorify you and try to bring people to know you and give them answers and seek the truth in you, Lord. Let us not be too harsh on anybody. Let us be as compassionate as we can be. And just give us strength, Lord, as we go through our daily struggles and our daily lives, because I know we all have them, and I know they're all there. So this isn't just a stream about the question; it's a stream to help people and let people be able to vent and talk and give their inputs and concerns, and just allow them to be vocalized and allow them to have answers from me or whoever's aboard this stream with us, and mostly from you, Lord, just that you use me and you let me speak your word and your truth through me, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. That's okay. I'm used to the baby. Used to the baby. All right. So the verse of the day today. Yeah, okay, buddy. You're Iron Man. Hey, you distracted me. I'm gonna read the Bible. You wanna sit with me and read it? Mr. Iron Man, you can sit and read it. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Iron Man's gonna help us read the Bible. Oh, really? You want it up? You don't put it on that way.
Superheroes don't copy.
Yeah, superheroes. So, first Bible verse. Put it on that way. There you go. I'm going to read 1 through, I believe, 8. Yes, 1 through 8. What I'm going to read. So this is the ESV, Proverbs chapter 12. Whoever loves, hey, you gotta be quiet. I'm talking. Gotta be quieter. I'm gonna be talking. Okay. You good? Can you be quiet? Hello, quiet. Hello, quiet. Okay. All right. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of evil devices he condemns. No one is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings him brings shame is like the rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are just, and counsels of the wicked are deceitful. All right, you're distracting, buddy. Get down. You can't sit still. It's not my problem. Yeah. The counsels of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked lie and wait for blood. But the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more. But the house of the righteous will stand. A man is commanded according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. Who's the text? Jeez. So I think this verse touches on a little bit of everything. I'm putting it on Do Not Disturb. You want to wear it, or do you want me to wear it? You want me to wear it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be Iron Man. I'm gonna be Iron Man.
Okay.
I am Iron Man. Hey, this is open. There it is.
I mean,
Hey, can't see. I am Iron Man. You wanna wear it? I gotta put that on? Why do I gotta put it down? You wanna flip it open? This is the joys. This is what having kids is all about. Having fun and playing. And watching them grow and how they play. Hey, don't touch my eyeball. Yes, yes, they are hilarious. What he says. Yeah, Eli is ridiculous. Gabe has a logical funny to him. Yeah, I'd love to go to sleep. Okay. Getting his final wind. Okay. Nah, let him earn it out. It's okay. Nobody's in here. I have my questions posted, so we're gonna go look. Hey, too late for tea for you. Too late for tea. I mean, you can have a little bit, but yeah. And you'd be, dude. You hit you in the back? Your spine part? Mm. You want to sleep in Gabe's room? Maybe. Okay. Alright, everybody needs to take it down like 2 notches. Please. Don't go to your room, just take it down like 2 notches. Eli needs to take it down like 4.
What about this?
You're good. You gonna watch a show or something? Alright, let's see what's happening in the news. There's been a lot going on with Charlie Kirk, but I did want to watch something about this YouTuber I used to follow. Well, Eli the Computer Guy. Let's see if I can find it. Let's get it minimized. Let's get that video up. Let's see. There was one video I wanted to make fun of, but it's not very nice the way I was going to make fun of it, so I should probably avoid it. Close that tab. Got too many windows open. Yeah. This one here. Alright. I just have to state that if you're like a news anchor, I would hope you would be able to pronounce these names. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but let's just pause the music here for a second. Go in and listen. Okay, did you hear what he said? Please tell me you heard what he said. Cutter. Now, just to make sure I was not mistaken in how it is pronounced Qatar, not Cutter. Anyway, not a big deal. Just have higher expectations for news anchors. That's all I gotta say on that. I mean, I can understand why there's like security concerns, but don't you think they would check the plane out before they actually like brought it here? Like before they allowed the president to get on the plane and use it or whatever. It's for the State Department, whoever. Like, don't you think they would do a full like ground to air like maintenance check on it and like security check just to make sure? Because yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody either, but there's things that you can do in place of it to make sure it's a secure plane and it doesn't have risks of compromise. Anyway, I'm no aerotech or anything like that. So, um, but I don't know about the whatchamacallit, raising ethical concerns. I mean, maybe if they were like, what is it, quid pro quo or whatever, you do this for us, we'll give you this. But I don't think it. I don't know the details on it, so I got to keep an eye on this. But just watching a couple of news stations to kind of get the feel for it for a little bit. Donation, okay. Cutter. He does it twice. What is there? What are they paying off? Like, all right, let's. There we go. Where's the receipts? Is that true? Should we Google that? Let's see. Let's just do a quick Google search. Google is our best friend, and we will always say that here. So, even though the heads of state have traditionally exchanged gifts as expression of goodwill, the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9 prohibits anyone in the government from receiving a personal gift from a foreign head of state without the consent of Congress. Um, for the country from other countries. For the country from other countries. Even though that's so it's not. It's only personal. So anyone who is governed from receiving personal gifts, let's clarify there, from a foreign head of state without the consent of Congress. Okay. Let's clarify more for the US government. So if it's a personal gift, then it's an issue. But it sounds like they're giving it to us as a replacement for Air Force One, which would be a government use gift. So I don't know that the article she's stating, which was what article was that? I mean, it seems pretty open, like an open exchange. Again, I don't know what the receiving, like the Qatar, Qatar, Qatar government is looking for in return. Okay, so again, we're gonna go to that, and where is it? Oh, Constitution, Article 1, Section 9. So no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, except of any presence, emulate office or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state. Where's article number 9? Article 1. Oh, okay. Migration or importation. Migration. Habeas corpus. Ah. Tenor best post facto law shall be passed. No other direct tax shall be laid unless in preparation of the census or enumeration herein before directed to be taken. No tax or duty shall be laid on articles exported from any state. No preferences shall be given by any regulation of commerce or revenue. No money shall be drawn from the treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law. And a regular statement and account of the receipts and expenditures of all public money shall be published from time to time. Titles of nobility and foreign opulence, which I assume is gifts, right? Salary, fee, or profit from employment or office. Okay. Title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, except of any present. I mean, maybe. I mean, but it's not a personal present. I think that's gonna have to be determined by somebody a little higher than me. Nobility, titles of nobility, foreign opulence clause, historic background, force opulence clause, overview of nobilities and foreign opulence clause. Most of the Territory Court really substantially analyzed or interpreted the foreign opulence clause during the administration of Donald J. Trump. However, a number of private parties, state attorneys, and members of Congress sued the president based on alleged violations of both the foreign opulence clause and domestic opulence clause. What's this? Collectively, whatever that word is. 3 major federal lawsuits concerning the opulence clause were filed against President Trump over nearly 4 years. These cases progressed through the lower federal courts, resulting in the first significant judicial decision on the opulence clause. Denied review in one of these cases, and after the end of President Trump's term in January 2021, instructed 2 federal appellate courts to vacate their judgments and dismiss the other 2 cases as moot points. Most lower court decisions, the cause have been vacated, so nobody's made a decision on this cause for a while. But District of Columbia, so I don't know. It's the best they can answer. I don't know. Oh, I probably should put sound through, huh? Probably don't have don't probably have that sound coming through, do I? I do not. Let's add it. All right, peoples. There we go. Now you can hear.
Year-old Air Force One. The announcement has raised ethical and national security concern. We're joined now by Kathleen Clark, an expert in legal and government ethics and professor at Washington University School of Law in St. Louis. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So President Trump today, he called the offer of this airplane. He said it was a nice gesture that would be stupid to turn down. And the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, reportedly said in a memo that this was perfectly legal because it was a donation. Bondi, we should say, worked as a foreign lobbyist for Qatar. What questions does all of this raise for you?
This appears to be an illegal, unconstitutional payoff from a foreign government to the president at a scale we actually have never seen, on the order of $400 million.
You use the word payoff. Why?
I use the word payoff because it implies corruption, and that's what we're talking about here.
We're being transparent.
Our founders
I don't think there's any
put into our Constitution
whether
a
it's constitutional,
prohibition
I do not know, but it doesn't seem like a corruption.
Government officials, including the president, accepting payments, gifts from foreign governments. They didn't want our government officials to have to be tainted by this kind of conflict of interest.
I don't know if tainted is the right word. I don't think they wanted them to have the political pool. So, like, say Qatar's like, oh, well, we want this in exchange, or we're going to start this war, just ignore it.
And
that's the potential.
That's why the Constitution includes this emoluments clause and says that the president and others cannot accept such gifts unless Congress specifically authorizes it.
What about the level of transparency? The administration says this is all happening out in the open. There should be no concerns. Does that in any way counteract the perceived conflict of interest?
Not at all. This is not a situation where disclosure cures the crime or disclosure cures the conflict. Our founders didn't say the president and others cannot accept gifts from foreign potentates unless they disclose them. They said the president and others cannot accept gifts from foreign potentates unless Congress affirmatively consents.
The president said that this plane will be a gift to the Department of Defense, and once he's no longer in office, it will be decommissioned, then go to the Trump Library. He says there's precedent for this because Ronald Reagan did it, and there's a decommissioned Air Force One at Reagan's presidential library. What do you make of that?
There is no precedent that I'm aware of a president accepting a gift on this scale from a foreign government. And the fact that he's doing so while laundering it through the Department of Defense and using it as the equivalent of Air Force One for a couple of years does not in any way diminish the corrupt nature of this deal.
What about the national security concerns? Air Force One is a flying fortress for the President of the United States. If this were to move forward, the U.S. Air Force would, of course, have to receive this plane. They'd have to basically strip it down, search for surveillance devices, and then rebuild it to fit the needs of transporting a president. The idea that an Air Force One would originate from a foreign government, what questions does that raise?
It raises all sorts of questions about electronic security. But even in the way you phrase that question, it undermines the claim that this is actually some kind of bargain for the federal government. It's not that the federal government is getting the equivalent of Air Force One for free. They're getting an airplane frame that they will then have to, as you say, strip down and examine conduct countermeasures, electronic countermeasures.
They would have to do it with Boeing anyway, I believe, right?
And then provide it with the same kind of capacity that our Air Force One jets have.
Which they have to do with Boeing in the first place. I'm deaf and muted here. I don't want to be deaf and muted. Let's see. does the government. Yeah, then I would. I knew our first one Boeing. So, what are you doing? Cars, plane. Hey, you need to be quieter. Government. Dude, no screaming like that. Gotta keep it down, okay? I need you to keep it quieter. Hey, wild one. Hey, wild one. Hey, be careful, that's my heart rate. Hey. Good. Alright. All air travel and cargo transports or services funded by the federal government are required to use a U.S. flag air carrier service. There we go. I think that's what we need. Travel and transportation by government employees is governed by a complex set of rules and regulations. Government employees should consult with their travel offices if they have any questions, concerns, applications of travel and transportation rules. The following general principles and references are provided for your information. Use government travel or transportation can also occasionally raise ethics issues. Acceptance of gifts of travel in those instances prior consultation with your assigned ethics counselor is encouraged. Government owned or controlled transportation resource vehicle and aircraft shall be used for official purposes only. Yes. Should be scheduled and arranged to be the most cost effective for the government, not to maximize the personal convenience of the traveler. Rules must be applied uniformly and not to selectively benefit someone solely because of rank or position. Transportation assets shall be used to the maximum extent possible practicable. In government vehicles to transport individuals between their residence and places of work is not transportation for an official purpose and is prohibited. An officer, employee who willfully uses or authorizes the use of a government vehicle or aircraft for other than official purposes shall be suspended without pay. Okay. Boeing. Our first one plans currently on order will not be ready until 2029. Work with them on the project. Yeah, no. The Boeing tradition with the 747-8, which will replace the two 747-200s. Boeing may modify Air Force One requirements. So is Boeing like Air Force One? Standard practice to use the term to refer to specific planes that are equipped to transport the commander-in-chief. Today, this name refers to one of two highly customized Boeing 747-200B series aircraft, which carries the tail code 28000 and 29000. First designation for the aircraft is VC-25A. Most recognizable. Let's see, capable of refueling mid-air. First one has unlimited range and can carry president wherever he needs to travel. The onboard electronics are hardened to protect against an electromagnetic pulse. Air Force One. So they will have to change out the electronics on board most likely. Advanced secure communications equipment. So they're gonna have to do all of that. Does like Trump defense plan. Put Trump tricks up last year. Yeah, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking. All right, let's just go to page 3. Secured and upgraded. That's the better terminology. Going all right. So it is from the Air Force. Three days ago. Boeing may modify Air Force One requirements to get delivery by 2027. With the White House and Boeing to further define the requirements and acceleration options while ensuring we provide a safe, secure, and reliable aircraft for the president, the officials added. I mean, he's got to probably go through Congress for this. Lavish jet from Qatar. What does this jet even look like? That is a good question. All right, I couldn't find answers for that one, but
This is no
obviously
bargain.
it's related.
It's
with
not
the
even
Air
a corrupt
Force,
bargain.
Air
It's
Force,
just corrupt.
If this moves forward, what precedent does it
Some of
set,
them
not
would be
just for
corruption,
President
but-
Trump, but for future presidents?
I'd say that President
trying to
Trump
spin this story.
thinks he's going to get away with this. And
No,
if
he's
he
gonna ask.
does, we can anticipate his convincing some other foreign government to provide more lavish gifts to him in the future. I won't
They're not to
posit
him.
what
It's not
the future
personal.
holds past the Trump presidency,
See, she's trying to
but
make it a
I
personal
suspect
gift,
that
and
this
he's
will not
already
be the
stated it's
last
not a
time
personal gift.
that President Trump attempts to violate the emoluments clause.
So this administration presented with this offer should just say thanks, but no thanks.
Absolutely, yeah. Be gracious when
again.
someone offers a gift, and refuse it
I'm
where
unbiased
it would be corrupt, as this one
towards
would.
this. I don't
Kathleen
think the
Clark,
word
thank you so
corruption
much
is
for your
properly
insights.
used,
Thank
but
you.
I think maybe a consultation of Congress is needed for it, but and that way they can hash out the details, security details, and whatever else needs to be dealt with. But also, I think the Air Force needs to be involved in it because I think they're the main people that work with Boeing. All right. Playlist. What playlist do I got? Stream data.
Tate became the most viral person on the internet.
That one. All right, let's watch this.
But
one.
anyways, hey, you know how I've been complaining in the last number of videos I've done?
So this is Eli the Computer Guy. I used to watch him for just general computer updates. I know he was involved in the storm. I think it was last year in the Carolinas. I forget which Carolina, but that one town that got devastated. But he used to live there, so he's had a pretty rough year or two. I understand, and he looks exhausted by any means, and I know that small businesses are struggling right now because of some of the tariff things. So that looks like it's taking its toll on him.
That if this is quote unquote winning, then Trump is correct. I have gotten exhausted of winning, right? During the presidential campaign, Trump stated, "We are going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning." And I've been bringing that up as kind of like a punchline, as a joke, because obviously we aren't actually winning. We are getting our asses whooped. But, you know, hey.
I'm not so sure about that. Let's check some things. Do I have stocks? Maybe I have stocks on my desktop somewhere. No, that's not what I wanted. Dow's up 2 points. So everything's up. Let's Asia markets are a little up too. Anyway, US markets are up. Which isn't too bad. And they're balancing out. What's inflation at? Like, look, I don't understand all this, so I'll try to make the best out of it I can. Two 2.4%. Okay, they're getting there. Price of gas. Okay, that's not bad. Cheaper than what I remember it last time I actually got gas. So that's a big plus. And let's just see common household items. Egg price. Is there a graph? There's an egg shortage that's affecting the price. $3.30 per dozen. The average ad price declined 69 cents to $3.30 per dozen, a far cry from price levels consumers endured earlier in the year. Okay, so egg prices are down, according to the USDA, right? Yeah, $4.50, $3.97. It's not bad, I guess. I know they were really ridiculous. And milk. There's going to be one more thing I want to check too. $2.25 for whole milk, $3.16. Oh, $1 general. Okay, $3.16. $4 for milk. That's still a little high in my opinion, but okay. What else did I want to check? Baby formula. I think that's going to be a big one. Let's just say since March. No. Baby formula costs $40 to $300 per month, or $550 to $3. That's a pretty wide gap. What? Just do every average baby food price. I want to do average formula price. It's got a chart, right? Probably cost per month 25 to 200, newborn 12, 9 to 12, 40 to 240. It's just telling me how to care for a baby, Similac, in film. What's that's the high cost, that's the low. The Costco brand's the cheapest. Target brand's close. Target brand and Walmart brand are close. But the high only goes up to 95 cents in Target. I wish I had an actual chart show me where. Oh, yeah, a good topic to discuss while drunk. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. But it is a good title and a good question, so if you have answers to that question or an opinion on it, go for it. I'll listen. Sure, go for it. Put the baby formula search on hold. And what I used to say when I drank, a drunk mind speaks a sober heart, so wasn't always true, but I always told myself to self that. At Poland, okay. And why is it one of the worst? Are we talking historically or are we talking currently? Okay. No, I don't disagree with you. There were some horrific things that specifically Catholic churches and Protestant churches have done over the years. Don't disagree with you at all on that. And some of it can be justified, some of it can't, but I'll probably agree with you, but go for it. Shoot. Oh, yeah, I can turn the automod off. I figured this was going to be a touchy subject. Should have turned it off in the first place. Give me a second. Nope, there it is. I can see what you're saying anyway. I can allow it. Okay, what'd you say? My thesis is Christianity is one of the. Yep, I read that strictly historically. Damn, everything I read is picked. All right, it's the worst cuckold story out there. Yeah, you can deviate from it. I'm just here for the conversation, man. People need a vent, and I get it. Sometimes it's good to talk about things that are eating you up. So go for it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I am not a Catholic. I do not protest Vatican Catholic faith by any means. I think the Catholic Church is very influenced by money and a false priesthood. But anyway, go ahead. Yep. Yeah, that's my understanding as well. The Poles got screwed throughout history a lot. I think my great great grandparents migrated from there. Mm-hmm. You guys had a different orthodoxy there? If I'm not mistaken. Let's look. Let's say before World War One. What's the Polish Orthodox Church? Eastern Orthodox. Okay. Yeah, you guys were part of the Eastern Orthodox. Yeah. Well, that caused a lot of internal conflict, I'm sure. Bishop. Yeah, that's all these Russian names. I see it. All right. 1915, Russian Church of Poland was evacuated alongside with the Russian administration. Okay. Archbishop of Warsaw Nicholas died soon after evacuating, and during the remaining time of World War One, the diocese was vacant. Okay, so it was abandoned. Yeah, church abandons you guys again. World War II, Soviet invasion of Poland. Poland was divided between Nazi Germany and Soviet Union. Support of resistance against Nazi Germany. Metropolitan Dionysius was arrested. Well, that's great. The church territories, dioceses were mostly taken over by the Moscow Patriarch. Warsaw Pact. Oh gosh, we're jumping through history. They have it on here. Nice. The Warsaw. That's the. We'll just Google the Warsaw Pact. Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation, and Mutual Assistance. Collective Defense Treaty signed in Warsaw, Poland. Yep. Soviets, Eastern Bloc, Socialist, Central and Eastern Europe. During the Cold War. Yeah, you guys got screwed in the Cold War too. You guys are in between every single conflict there is out there, by the way. All the time. It's always the Russians trying to come across Poland and take everything else in between. Yeah, that I believe. Well, I can say most churches like that, Orthodoxy churches, are pretty. They're more into the traditions than they are into the relationship that's supposed to be forming Christianity. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure they did. They abused their authority to put people in jail. That was always my issue. That's my issue with the Catholic Church. In general, is why should I go confess my sins to a man that's wearing a white collar and a black robe? Didn't make sense to me because biblically speaking, you don't have to do that. It's a one-on-one conversation between Jesus and yourself, Jesus, God, and yourself. So yeah, I always had an issue with the Catholic Church because of that. And like I said, they're all traditional, so they're easily corrupted. You can see that in the current Catholic Church. I actually have on the current Pope. Was looking at his past, and he's got a couple of skeletons in his closet. So he's a part of a pedophile priest cover-up. When was this done? September 2024. There was a scandal in Peru over one of the dioceses he was over. And basically he was supposed to be the lead investigator over this child sexual abuse case, and never did anything. Never followed up. Just kind of shoved it on the carpet and walked away, because a few months later he got promoted to some bishop in Italy. He got taken home, as they say. The wrong type of taken home, but yeah. No, there's corruption in all churches. And I believe that. Yeah. Yeah, it's classic. Too much corruption in all churches. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at with my stream, is we can't depend on the church necessarily, but Christianity itself, you can depend on the deity of Christ is where I go. I can't depend on the church, but I can depend on the Bible and Christ. The Bible tells me exactly what I need to do. Just have to read it, you know? And sometimes that's the hardest part, just reading it. Hello, Wilhelm. Nerd. We got into a history discussion. Yeah, I'll mute you in Discord so nobody can hear you, unless you want to get your opinion out there, but you don't have to. Figured you were good on that. I figured you were good on that. But yeah, it's classic Catholic Church, Catholic man, or a classic man. Man's gonna look out for himself most of the time, if not all of the time. So you sound like one of my buddies. He said, to be honest, I'm not a religious. No, I'm talking to my chatter. He said that, to be honest, I'm not a religious man. I think that there is a God, but he simply exists to troll us. Like a drunken Sims gameplay, if you catch my drift. Yeah, I understand that completely. Yeah, some days I can agree with you. But it's not necessarily, here's the way to best explain it. There's good and evil in the world, obviously. And the evil sometimes takes over and takes control. Because without good, if you don't have evil, you don't have good. So we're going to go philosophical on this. So if God is good, there has to be an evil in the world, because then good is irrelevant. Yeah. You're not evil, Will. You're too nice. But there's a curtain that's been placed between us since the dawn of age, which is called sin, which is inherently in everybody. And which causes corruption of man. Doesn't mean everybody's gonna do horrible stuff all the time, but it makes us a lot more selfish, and which that selfishness leads us to do some horrible things to other human beings. But anyway, the evil is the devil. And the demons, I believe in spiritual, which I think a lot of people nowadays are getting into the belief of that there's a spiritual realm, but it's more of a new age practice, which can lead into a really corrupt place, I guess you could say, as well, with like the candles and the crystals and the voodoo dolls. Like, it's all to a Christian perspective, it's demonic. It's not helpful. It might seem good at first, but it's it's gonna eventually come back and take all that it can from you. Might give you a little bit to begin with, make you feel nice and good. I think one of the best examples, George Janko did an interview with this kid. Hang on, let me see if I can find that interview. He's got a short about it, so it won't be too long. Let's see, shorts. I mean, you have to. I mean, if you're gonna believe in something, you have to take it seriously. If you don't, then you're not speaking truthfully. And I'm not here to lie to people, and what I believe is true, or I know is true, because I've examined what I can examine and gone through all kinds of up and downs. But you're right, people can take things way too seriously. I think people can be way too critical of others. I think that's the best way to put it. Not too seriously, it's too critical of others, especially people that don't believe in what we believe in. We can go around and say it's bad, it's harmful, but like, I can't expect you to do the exact same thing as me as a Christian, you know? Like, I can't expect the LGBTQ people to be straight because I'm a Christian. No, that's not going to happen. Like, they're not Christians in the first place, so why would they be? They're of the world. Which one is it? This the one. It's Jack Dorsey, I know. Or Doherty. No, I know what you're talking about. It's pushing your beliefs on everybody else, which I am not. I'm not made to do that. I believe that I should say, hey, look, I believe that this is there's a heaven and a hell. I believe that if you don't follow this, you can do whatever you want. You can take it or leave it. But I believe if you don't follow this, or don't believe in the simple proclamation of Jesus Christ, that you are going to end up in hell, whether you're perfectly good, but you're not perfectly sinless. all beauty in your books. Yeah, my book's pretty beautiful too. Anyway, I wanted to get to this Georgienko, Orange Jack, Jordy.
I'll change your life. I don't know. Don't live beyond your means. Of course not. Like, you are, because every time I tell you to do something, you say,
this is
you have to keep going, or they're going to take that off your wrist, and they're going to take that off your neck. No, I got Dave.
Bro, you just robbed me. This is both my fucking games, bro.
This was a day later.
What the fuck, bro?
You have to keep going, or they're going to take that off your wrist, and they're going to take that off your neck. No, I got Dave.
Bro, you just robbed me. This is both my fucking games, bro. Fuck, dog. Dave, what the fuck, bro? Where's yours? What the?
You have to keep going.
Yeah, I'm not talking. I had it way turned up. Discord's turned off. Is this all the way up? Oh yeah, that's all the way up. Shoot, that happened. There. My audio settings got messed up. That better? What might that be? Yeah, I wanted to watch the Eli thing. I'm sure we can agree on a lot. Nothing's ever going to be equal. You can't force it no matter what you try. Everybody's made for a purpose. So yeah, we could agree on that. Everybody's can do their own thing and believe in what they want to believe, especially in America. That's the great thing about America. And say what we want to say and forced equality is not going to happen. Individuality is what makes people. That's the great thing about everybody. We're all individuals. Good, bad, ugly. Love you, kiddo. You're telling mom. They're staying down for a minute? Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. There we go. Now I'm back. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't delete that one message. That wasn't in mod view. But I got mod view now. I can mod all I want. Alright, I want to finish this Eli video. Well, thanks for talking, Kaz. I appreciate the conversation.
And the decline of our manufacturing sector. And, you know, our wages in the United States and the environmental laws in the United States and the zoning regulations in the United States and the fact that we've been pushing our kids in the United States for my entire generation not to go into the industries and that type of thing. But anyways, let's not look in the mirror.
I agree with that. I agree that we haven't been pushing in the right direction for industry. I believe everybody's been pushing college, and it's like, yeah, well, that's kind of false. Because you're seeing it now. Everybody's got these college degrees. I got a history degree. What are you gonna do? Work in a museum? Hopefully. Thanks for the follow. Oh, thank you, Kazman. History degrees don't do us any good. It's good to learn history on your own, though. I don't think you should go to college for that, though. I think you should, like we did, Kaz, and did our little Wikipedia research a little bit, read through, did a quick overview. But I don't think that should be a program offered.
Eli, we're trying to solve America's problems. Now is not the time to look in the mirror. Anyways, in reaching an agreement, the United States and China will each lower tariffs by 115% while retaining an additional 10% tariff. Other U.S. measures will remain in place. Both sides will take these actions by May 14th, 2025. This trade deal is a win for the United States, demonstrating President Trump's unparalleled expertise in securing deals that benefit the American people. Yeah, if that came from Fox News, like maybe, but like, this is literally their bullet.
Yeah, I do have the website. I have up what he was reading. I was trying to find about the. Yeah, this is what he's reading directly from the White House about the tariffs and actions when they're going to take place, yada yada yada. It's just a reduction in pricing basically for 90 days. I think he still needs to keep him jacked up, honestly. But I'm just a little old nobody sitting here on Twitch and YouTube.
It's unparalleled, all right. Chinese actions. China will remove the retaliatory tariffs it announced since April 4th, 20.
So I believe the reason why Eli the Computer Guy is so upset is because he really, really uses China to help his small business out. Which I get, I completely understand, and I completely understand trying to resource get things from an American manufacturer without the tariffs is probably just as expensive. Probably cheaper now to get Chinese. Oh, that's okay. Thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, you're good. But yeah, I mean, he's impacted more directly than I am about this. I mean, all I have to do is not buy Chinese consumer goods, which is basically what's happening around the world. Just not around the world, but around the United States. People just aren't buying the stuff from Chinese companies. Unfortunately, electronic guys are getting screwed, especially IT guys. That's the ones that are going to get hit the hardest. Right, well, you're going to probably see the most hit in your department because a lot of your stuff comes from China. Like components and whatnot. Yeah. You're very internal. Yeah. Internal inventory. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of like your components and server racks or whatnot, you can get locally. But I think he's so tight on a budget. Like, this guy is just absolutely stressed, and you can tell. And I feel bad for him.
Deal is a win for the United States, demonstrating President Trump's unparalleled expertise in securing deals that benefit the American people. Yeah, if that came from Fox News, like maybe, but like, this is literally their bullet point on whitehouse.gov. This trade deal is a win, demonstrating Trump's unparalleled expertise.
And I will say it's not a complete deal. It's a 90-day pause on tariff, 90-day like pause so that they can negotiate. So let's clarify that point.
It's unparalleled, all right. Chinese actions. China will remove the retaliatory tariffs it announced since April 4th, 2025, and will also suspend or remove the non-tariff countermeasures taken against the United States since April 2nd, 2025. China will also suspend its initial 34% tariff on the United States it announced on April 4th, 2025 for 90 days, but will retain a 10% tariff during the period of the pause. So basically, we went into this where the Chinese were not paying tariffs on our goods. They put retaliatory tariffs on us because we put retaliatory tariffs on them. Anyways, and so those retaliatory tariffs are going away, but there's still going to be a 10% tariff. So at the end of the day, the win for Trump is that the Chinese people are going to be paying 10% in taxes for America.
I think he's got this reversed. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure he has the numbers reversed. 34% reciprocal tariff. Retain a 10% tariff during the period of the pause. Let's see. Chinese remove the retaliatory tariffs since April 4th, 2025, and also suspend or remove the non-tariff countermeasures taken against. And it will also suspend its initial 34% tariff on the United States from now on April 30th, but will retain a 10% tariff during the period of the pause. So 10% and 10%. It's even. And let's be completely honest. The goods that they buy are more expensive and more necessary for them to do anything from America, if I'm not mistaken. Like, most of the goods that we buy from China are pleasure commodities, not always needs. I mean, there are some needs like computer chips and whatnot, but I think that's from Singapore usually. The computer, that's like the chip capital of the world. So he's miscuing that. So it's 10%, 10%.
The United States will remove the additional tariffs it imposed on China on April 8th and April 9th, but will retain all duties imposed on China prior to April 2nd, 2025, including Section 301 tariffs, Section 232 tariffs, tariffs imposed in response to the fentanyl national emergency invoked pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and most favored nation tariffs. The United States will suspend its 34% reciprocal tariff imposed on April 2nd for 90 days, but retain a 10% tariff during the period of the pause. And so as I understand here, there was a 20% tariff that was put on because of the fentanyl crisis.
Him doing the air quotes on the fentanyl crisis did kind of frustrate me a little bit. I will be honest about that, acting like it's not an issue. Here's what he has to say.
Let's not deal with rehabilitating Americans. Let's not deal with figuring out why Americans are so desperate to lose themselves into drugs.
He's missing the point of this. China is the #1 producer of fentanyl, if I'm not mistaken. And they sell it to just about anybody. So it's saying the majority of it's coming from China, Canada, and then China to Mexico, and China directly to the United States, and then India's getting hit with it too a little bit, and then from India to Mexico again. Okay. So anyway, here's my hot take on that. people that use fentanyl are using it on a daily basis for pain, depression, whatever problems they're going through. Normally it's a pain. Like pain is what starts your drug use. My issue with fentanyl is it's being laced in everything. Drugs that are not even supposed to be harmful, like marijuana. But it's even being put in like marijuana, cocaine, and people are ODing on that crap because that's being laced. That's the epidemic that's happening with fentanyl. It's being put into everything and anything it can be. Those that are already addicted to fentanyl know what they're using, like are using fentanyl instead of heroin. They're using it in a way that hopefully they should, then they won't be ODing, but like they have a tolerance built up. What's killing people is it's being put in stuff that shouldn't even have it. Cocaine, other drugs, quote unquote low level drugs, I guess you could say, compared to fentanyl, heroin, and meth. But it takes such a little amount of fentanyl to OD on that it's like you just sprinkle a little bit on like some flour and that person goes to smoke it and then they die because they get asphyxiated. They stop breathing. That's the issue with fentanyl for me, is that it's being put in other street drugs and killing people and killing people that weren't even attempting to use fentanyl. Yes, I think we need to do something about the drug crisis that is also happening, but a lot of it is fentanyl and heroin use, and it's how are you going to resolve that? Most of those people don't want to get off of it anyway, and it's very hard to get off of. I can attest to at least coming off of opioids being very, very hard. But like fentanyl, I can only imagine it's even harder. And giving those people help, yeah, but they have to be willing to get help too. That's the other issue, having them be willing to get help. You can't force somebody to be treated. But they are already doing research on why people are using drugs and escape. Now, I can give you a Christian perspective on why people are using so many drugs and trying to escape from their lives and their misery that they have. They have an emptiness that they're trying to fill with drugs and alcohol, and it's not working, so they just keep using more and more and more. An emptiness of family, an emptiness of love, an emptiness of joy and purpose.
China has something theoretically to do with the fentanyl crisis, that there's going to be the 20% tariffs on that, because that's going to do something, God knows what.
And pain. People don't act like pain's a real thing. Pain is painful.
You are not going to have enough money for fentanyl. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the idea here. Maybe Trump's idea is if he bankrupts the American people, they won't be able to afford fentanyl. I mean, it's a plan. It makes about as much sense as any of this other crap. So anyways, so there's going to be that.
He just sounds stupid here with that one. I'm sorry.
Or the 20% fentanyl tariff on top of the 10% new tariff. So we're going to come out of this still paying 30% tariff. So we're still paying.
No, China is paying 30% tariff.
From China. The good thing about this is that's actually something some people will be able to handle. Again, 145% tariff, over doubling. Over doubling the cost of the goods coming in from China. Almost all companies can't be able to handle. But with a 30% tariff, 30% tax on the goods coming in, more companies will be able to handle that. Though what I will say with this is, again, do remember for businesses, we talk about 30%. So you talk about 30%. 30% on $100 is $30, right? Think about that. Think about if you went to the grocery store and you're used to buying $100 worth of goods, and all of a sudden it's now $130. How flexible is your financial situation where you can just dump another $30 on the table?
I mean, if you were a business guy, he would understand to have that back loop and make sure he has those back funds ready for unpredictable situations, especially with Trump coming into power. Yeah, Yeah, it sounds like he's playing like hand to mouth with his money for his business, and that's not a good way to run a business, especially like he's been in business for a few years, if I am not mistaken. Eli the Computer Guy. And at least run his YouTube for a couple years. 14 years he's run his YouTube for. So that's telling me he's not managing his money as well as he should be. And I mean, from here, I mean, he kind of looks like Andrew Tate there. So sorry, Eli. Eli, the computer guy. And I mean, he's run down, he's tired, he's exhausted, and he doesn't know where to turn. Anyway.
One of the issues with this too is even with 30%, which is much better than 145%, you know, Trump is now punishing the American people less than he was punishing the American people before. But even with that, that's significant, right? If you buy $100,000 worth of goods, right? So surveillance cameras, server racks, whatever else. That means you're going to be paying $30,000 in taxes just to be able to get your hands on those goods. And I think a lot of people really aren't thinking about, again, the ramifications for a lot of small businesses where $30,000 is a lot of money. I mean, right? That's half the salary. That's half a yearly salary for an employee.
Half a yearly salary for, yeah, I guess a tech company, right? 60,000 is about the average for like a mid-tier tech position. Look. $94, yeah. 95, around there. For IT salaries. Starting, it's probably closer to 40 to 50,000 a year.
That might be the entire rent for your facility for an entire year. $30,000 in Trump taxes is still very significant to companies. The issue becomes, though, is it's like, okay, you're going to be paying 30% in Trump tax. But the idea is, well, 30% in Trump tax means that you'll buy more locally, you'll buy more American.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is although this makes things more difficult for the small businesses, does it actually put the price point up enough where you buy American goods? And I've got to actually question that. Again, we saw that with Louis Rossmann. Gamers Nexus. So Gamers Nexus went out, actually did some very good reporting, interviewed frenemy.
Thanks, Gabe.
Louis Rossmann, and he was talking about that. So there are these air stations, right? So he does soldering. So these air stations he sells to other people so they can do repair work. Basically, he buys them from China for $200 a pop and then sells them for like $400 a pop. The American version is $1,600 and comes with fewer accoutrements. So here's the thing. If it's $200 now and it goes up, let's say, to $300, less than $300, I don't know, $270, right? That is more expensive, right? Trump is pulling out a $70 tax on each one of those air stations that Lewis buys, but it's still now $270 versus $1,600, right? So it is a massive tax on the American people, but it's a massive tax that doesn't actually change how Americans shop, which is, again, a bit of a curious thing there. For 90 days. And the other thing with this, too, is that this is another 90-day pause. We've seen this 90-day pause with the tariffs before. Again, something was going to go on in Mexico and then Canada, and that's a 90-day pause. Then we're going to tariff Europe, and there's a 90-day pause.
Because there were negotiations.
We got a 90-day pause. Is it off
So he doesn't understand why they're pausing. They're pausing because they're negotiating over, and so they're coming to an agreement to pause because they're negotiating deals. Like, Eli, not the business guy, I can tell you that.
Is it on the table? What the hell are we doing? And the big thing to be thinking about this for you, again, as an employee, is understand for business decision makers, how do you plan anything based off of this? Again, when you put out orders, when you decide to buy things, it takes time. Again, one of the things that kills really new small businesses is they misunderstand how long it takes for a business transaction to complete. Right? Again, back when I had my store and all that, you don't know how many times people would walk in, they're like, I want the surveillance system, I love what you do, I want the surveillance system, blase, blase, blase. But then it just takes 6 months. It just takes 6 because then they got to go and they got to agree with a partner, whatever else.
Yeah, I don't know about how long it takes in the security field, but I know manufacturing, if I needed parts or materials, it would take at least a month for raw materials to get to the facility, and that it would take like a month or two because it was all our stuff was shipped on cargo ships. So that took a while. It took like 2 months, about 2 or 3 months. I'll raise it up to 2-3 months. That sounds about right. But like parts for equipment and stuff, some of it was pretty on demand. Some of it was like a week or two out. Others you had a plan for, especially if you're doing like equipment upgrades and whatnot. You had a plan for it to be a few months out. So it varies. There's a lot of variables in business. And you know what? That's kind of the expectation of business.
So then they got to get the money together. And then even once they got the money together, then you've actually got to go do the install, right? So from the point the person says, I want one, to the point you're walking away with your final check from the project, really is about 6 months. Now a lot of times it is faster than that, but many times it's about a 6-month thing. And so one of the issues you run into with this thing like the 90-day tariff pause is you have no idea what's going to be happening 4 months from now. Right?
You didn't before that.
Have no idea what's going to be happening 4 months from now. So this is a pause. So right now they're talking about that in Seattle. So apparently there are no ships in the port of Seattle. Because basically the trade with China basically went off a cliff. They talk about that in the port of Los Angeles and the other port that's right near there, right? Shipping there is down by 30 or 40%. And so the interesting thing about all this stuff is, okay, so this is paused for 90 days. So then you have to decide, right, as a business owner, can you stomach a 30% tariff? And that's a real question. Again, as I've talked about that before, as a business owner, I can either give you a raise, I can pay for toilet paper, I can pay for coffee, or I can pay for tariffs. Tariffs. Right? That's one of the things I tell you, right? When you're in a business environment and you
Now, how do we feel if these tariffs eliminate our income tax? Would everybody be happy about that? I wonder. I mean, you're putting more money back into the consumer pocket, but you're taking it out in other means, but it's spread equally across America. So even tourists are taxed.
You want to know, how shaky your company is? Wait to see if you start getting that lion coffee, right? If you have Starbucks coffee, every day you walk in, you got some Starbucks coffee, right? The thing. And then one day you go to that lion coffee, it's in like the gold foil or whatever.
I've never had Starbucks coffee. Well, I've had Starbucks coffee. I prefer the cheaper brands. Starbucks sucks.
Between Starbucks coffee and lion coffee is significant enough. You're getting lion coffee now, which means they care that much about the bills, right? $100 a month in savings on the coffee bill actually means something. And if your company cares about $100, that means you're probably screwed, right?
It's him putting false information out there. I think all companies need to watch their budget closely and not spend on unnecessary things. So honestly, if I were a business, I wouldn't even provide coffee to anybody because they'd all most likely be ungrateful for it. Complain that it's not the best coffee in the world anyway.
Right? But the thing is, right, think about this in this particular environment now, right? You still have to pay 30% more on tariffs. You have no idea what the tariffs are going to look like in 91 days from now. You're not really sure what's going on with the larger economic environment. And so how comfortable do you think business owners feel right at this period of time? Do you think they see this as a win? Do you think they're like, yeah, I get to pay more taxes?
I mean, there's just negotiations around the table.
Like, well, 30% is better than 145%, which is true. Thank God Trump is only punching us in the face now as business owners. I mean, he was punching us in the
Here's this Trump rant.
the past 2 months. So only getting punched in the face is kind of nice. The 10% tax tariff continues to set a fair baseline that Americans should pay, that encourages domestic production. Does it? Seriously, does it? Strengthens our supply chains and ensures that American trade policy supports American workers first instead of undercutting them. How does it do that?
Yeah.
Ford has complained about this. Ford is the largest manufacturer in the United States. Again, everything nowadays is basically assembly. You're assembling parts, right? You're not manufacturing computers. You're assembling computers. You're not manufacturing cars. You're assembling cars. So here's the thing. Think about all those components that are coming from all over the world. And now to get those components, to put them into a truck, you're now paying 10, 20, 30% additional taxes on. Is that really supporting the American workers? You charge enough tax to be a detriment to the American businesses. But again, you don't actually change anything to get more industry to come back to you.
You can have it, buddy.
By imposing reciprocal tariffs, President Trump is ensuring our trade policy works for the American economy. How so? Addresses our national emergency brought on by our growing and persistent trade deficit. No, we have less money. You are now poorer, ergo you can't buy as much from China. Again, that's one of the things I talk about, like, with equality. You always got to be careful about equality. Again, I talk about that. Black Lives Matter. Again, BLSM. Black lives should matter. Should, don't, but they should. Anyway, we talk about that with equality, right? How do you get to equality? What I want is you have, the privileged people here. You have.
I believe in a merit-based society.
The underprivileged here, and you bring them up. You empower them. Right? Well, the other way, so that's equal. So we're both equal. The other way to get to equality is to burn all the rich people's houses to the ground and make them poor. Right? That's another way to get to equality. You're both equal. You can be equal here, and you can be both of these things are equal.
How unbelievable equality is in this country. I can't believe people still preach it. This for a little bit longer.
You can bring some people down, and again, you're going to get into a whole bunch of disaster that way. Again, the aggregate, things are more equal. So again, you always have to be careful when you talk about these kinds of things. So here's the thing: if you want to bring down the trade deficit, as a point of math, if you make Americans poorer, they will buy less from China. Ergo, less of a trade deficit. Is that what we're going for? Is that what the win looks like?
He's kind of unreasonable.
Trump took a tough, uncompromising.
Very emotional. He is very emotional.
American interests and stop unfair trade practices. Uncompromising stance on China. You knew 145% tariffs were unsustainable. You stated 145% tariffs were unsustainable from our side. You buckled. China has basically given us nothing. Again, we come out of this paying more taxes. Trump's win is American people paying more taxes. That is his uncompromising stance. Poor people need to pay more into the society, and people need to be able to buy more yachts. Working towards a rebalancing. When these changes come into effect, both nations agreed to establish a mechanism to continue important discussions about trade and economics. The U.S. good trade deficit with China was $295.4 billion in 2024, the largest with any trading partner. Today's agreement works towards addressing these imbalances to deliver real, lasting benefits to American workers, farmers, and businesses. How so? We're coming to the end of this. There's not much more to this thing, right? As our nation continue these discussions, China will be represented by He Lefeng, Vice Premier of the State Council. The United States will be represented by Scott Bessent, Secretary of Treasury, and Jameson Geer, United States Trade Representative. Addressing the fentanyl crisis, final thing, the United States and China will take aggressive actions to stem the flow of fentanyl and other precursors from China to illicit drug producers in North America. So yeah, boys and girls. I didn't paraphrase. That'd be it. That's it. The uncompromising stance.
Yeah, he's forgetting it's a pause for negotiation. But okay. I mean, he wants to be upset about a pause for negotiation. I guess that's his prerogative. He's a little too emotional about it, but I don't need to read a comment on this page. I'll post this as a separate video. He'll probably see it. I'm a nobody though, so it probably won't come up. Prime Minister of India has something to say. What else was I looking for? There's another video I wanted to watch.
Tape became the most.
I think it was a Charlie Kirk video. Jet, and that guy, or did it Eli? The computer guy becoming the politics guy. It's like I'm the gamer guy becoming the kind of politics guy. I just all right. Yeah. Let's see what Charlie Kirk has to say. He's one of the best conservative debaters, I think, around. I don't think he has anything to say on tariffs.
What?
Nothing. No, I'm fine. All right. This is the other side.
News this week. There's so much going on for the better. This is why we elected President Donald Trump. What you are about to witness in the next couple of days, and what we saw these last couple of days, is exactly why we put the man back into the arena. As Teddy Roosevelt famously said, it's the man in the arena that counts. And President Trump is proving the contrast between a administrative state-managed president that moves slow and is bureaucratic and
yeah, he's a very
is
debater.
expert class like we saw under Joe Biden, and a president that has agility, vim, vigor, tenacity, focus. Point on a map. There very well could have been, low likelihood, but could have been a nuclear war. This could be a nuclear war. Very methodical about it. And hundreds of thousands. 90-day pause that brings tariffs down from 30% on Sunday. We solved that. And then he moved on, of course, to a major announcement. So we solve a nuclear war on Sunday, on Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday, major announcement today. President Donald Trump reaching a sudden surprise tariff truce with China. 90-day pause that brings tariffs down from 30% down to 30% from nearly 150%. President Trump is structuring a phenomenal America First winning trade deal, all the while juggling the 900 different other portfolio issues. President Donald Trump is about to head to the Middle East tomorrow. On Air Force One, he will fly to the Middle East. He's going to go to Saudi Arabia. He's going to go to Qatar. I think he's going to the UAE. He's doing all the major Arab powers, which increasingly is a power center on the planet.
I mean, it's good. I think he should definitely visit the Middle East, at least. Especially with all the crap that's going on over there. Maybe he can make some deals with them. You know, Mr. Art of the Deal, Mr. President.
And while President Trump is doing that, he says, hey, Putin and Zelensky, in case you guys want to meet, I can easily take a detour from Riyadh and go up to Istanbul. I mean, think about this. This is the way an entrepreneur thinks. Yeah, look, if I need a detour and reroute, yeah, the Secret Service, they'll figure it out. I'll go to Istanbul and I'll meet with you guys. You understand how unique this is? Typically, when U.S. foreign policy is done, those sort of summits are months in the Qatar in particular. It would be a very bad look to reject that deal. So it is beautifully ironic, that deal. So, and former President Joe Biden said, no, we're going to reject that deal. So it is
What deal?
ended 10 days in Istanbul, and hundreds of thousands of people would still be alive and millions of people would still be in their homes. So the warmongering machine under Washington, D.C. and former President Joe Biden said, no, we're going to reject getting a hostage released, signing an executive order on prescription drugs.
Grateful for that hostage release, by the way. We have that. Who is the hostage? Eden Alexander. I'm grateful for him to be home. Sure, his family is happy as well. A lot of prayers were answered and him coming home too, I'm sure. Steve, leave the kid alone. Huh? No, I can't imagine. It was almost 600 days that he was there. Yeah, I'm sure he was almost at the point of losing hope to leave the grips of Hamas. He didn't look healthy. He looked like he had injuries to his leg yet. Nah, they said he was limping.
All the while, by the way, our southern border is totally secure. We're getting no tax on tips, no tax on...
Oh, he was in the military. The IDF, or the Israel Defense Force, I believe so. But yeah, they'll probably take care of him for the rest of his life. They should. Now, I don't know about Israel, but he's an American citizen too, so if he were back here living in America, but I think he lives in Israel, so. I don't know what Israel's, yeah, I'm sure he's got crazy PTSD, all kinds of stuff. Well, I think all the released hostages have to go through therapy and all kinds of stuff, medical treatments, medical therapy, and all that coming back home. They're gonna have to be like reacclimated to normal society in a way. Oh yeah, I'll absolutely read it when he writes his book. It's not if, it's a when. All these people are gonna write books.
And over time, no tax on Social Security.
Yeah, pro Hamas people. Sickening.
Major middle class tax cut. And despite what the left says, President Trump actually might raise taxes on the wealthy, something that, look, I kind of shrug my shoulders. I say, if I pay more taxes, but I get less debts or deficits, fine, so be it. Doing a monster deal with one big, beautiful bill. Deregulation, oil prices are down, egg prices are down, inflation is going down. The market, by the way, is up nearly 1,000 points today. And you pause and you say, who's criticizing President Trump again? This is why we got him elected. For this reason. The energy that it takes this into the situation is Trump at his best. By the way, he's about to have a phone call with Xi Jinping as well. All of this simultaneously, it is fair to say President Trump is running the world. Phone call with Xi Jinping as well. All of this simultaneously, it is fair to say President Trump is running the world and running the world for the better. Less war, more lives, still some semblance of a democracy there, despite some of the more radical Hindu. And non-joke, that will be something that he absolutely deserves. And then get the Nobel Peace Prize based on that standard. And if
Okay. He wasn't speaking on anything that we didn't already go over today. All right, I think it's time to go play some video games. Enough with the heavy stuff. Let's play some video games. They're not even yours. Video games. What's that? Get this out of the way. This out of the way. And the preview. Go to the Last Epoch. Sadly, that is the only game my eyes allow me to play right now. Epoch. Stream's over, I'll download that and snip it up. Put some remarks on the Eli the Computer Guy. He's just too emotional for me to continue watching him. Like, it's super emotional, super angry, and he just looks worn out. He's exhausted. I used to like watching him when he was talking about computers and stuff. He was very knowledgeable on computers. But yeah. Yeah, and that's opinions. It's not like, I mean, I'll watch him for his computer stuff. I'm not watching him for his political views, though. I mean, I like taking both parties, but he just seemed to misconstrue everything that was happening, or like just, yeah, he's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier at everything. Dun, 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 dun. Is there any more tea left, Gabe, or did I drink it all? Okay, I'll go get some. No, oh, because you're gonna get up. That's fine, but I could get up and get it. Almost level 100 on my spell blade. Thank you. Just getting half-galloned. Yeah, I figured. Well, really. Yeah, I'll try not to. You ready for your medicines? Hmm? Yeah. Don't go away. Come here. No, don't run away from me. She's running away. She knows. She knows it's medicine time. Come here, Touch. Diva May, Touch. Get over here. Hey. Come on. Touch. Sit. Thank you, girlie. See, that wasn't that bad, was it? Yeah, exactly. That wasn't that bad, was it? Itchy a doggy eye. Itchy a doggy eye. Okay, your ear. The ear rubbing. The ear rubbing. You love the ear rubbing. It's not even that bad. Good girl. Give me that paw. Give me the paw. Yeah. Good girl. Good papa. Good papa. You try to sit next to me? Not always. This is a happy dog guy. This is a happy dog guy. It looks her ear getting rubbed. So she's down at the base. Get Eli's out cold. He's like, I'm going to the games room and fall asleep in there. I don't care. So you crawl into bed when you want to get into bed. All right. I need to do the black sun more, but let's do this one. See if I can't. Which they could be. They very well could be freezer burnt. No, it wasn't the one I meant to do. No. So how was the work today, Will? Another Monday. Yeah, I wanted to get the corruption on this one. The rings. Go get the rings. cars. What? 1919. He's being weird. All the spiders. All the spiders. Oh, thank you. Killing spiders. And big rock throwing guys. Roll of life. Not using Glyph of Dominions. This one as fast as we can. Not trying to. For the spider. Glyph of the Spear. Body armor. Nope. Body armor. Nope. I want the body armor I need. For dexterity. Yeah, Shadow Strike. That's what I want. resistance, spell damage. Okay. Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, Kadol. Better. Where's the doublet? There's the doublet. 100 health. 97 health. 61. This is 100. Yeah, that's just worse. Lizards. Alright. Are you doing squirrel build? Squirrel build? Oh. The ability to build it. Belts. I want to do this one. I just do belts. I want to go do the black sun, I think. I want to try to get that. Right. It's the worms. Who is? Chicket. Yeah, he's not a nice guy. Escape below. I don't like the after death effects. They're annoying sometimes. You can get more of those.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
That goose. Busy. He's been doing better in your room too, listening to you. He knows that if he doesn't listen to you, he'll not be able to come in there and play as much as he wants. That's a plus. Nothing. Nothing that I want. Give me that mana. Mm-hmm. Not as great as I wanted it to be. Now he's got to buy the shatters. Rune of Shattering. Necromantic damage. Two-handed sword, but
I cannot do that.
I don't know what Room Bolt is, but night on the stream here in a few minutes. This game's a little bit longer, but don't want to stream much longer. All right, well, have a good one. Night. Yep, that'll be me too here in a minute. Finish clearing this out. I'll call it on the stream. And so thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. It was an enjoyable conversation. Didn't really get the conversations I was looking to have, but you know what? Still had a conversation. So that's a plus. We're moving in the right direction. Yep.
I cannot do that.
I'm okay. Anyone can see. Let's see. Maybe I should get on TikTok and do some TikTok things like Avery does. Nah, that's it. No, I have no desire for TikTok whatsoever. Yeah, TikTok is the least of where I want to be. Yeah, I'd have to know what the rules of TikTok are because they're different than YouTube, and no, I have no idea how to use TikTok. I could figure it out, but I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know. Just never had the desire. And it's like vertical scrolling, so it's weird. I have to change the entire stream style up and everything. I'm just happy I can multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. What am I doing? Just run back out. Night. Kiddo's going to bed. I feel like they just changed the length of this dungeon. Needle. That's the wand. Needle can go in. This can go in. Not bad. That's not bad. Oh, if you can use two-handed swords, I think it's be a one-handed sword, but I'm not sure. Shattered. This one is better. We'll see. We'll keep it though. This one, solve, sort. Go up. Doing. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a night on streaming. Thank you for coming out. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. And we'll keep this conversation up for tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully more people come out, chit chat about it. Alright, everybody have a good night.